Hello my beautiful darlings, welcome back to my channel. I hope you're having an amazing day. Today we're going to talk about never mothering your man. We talked about this before, but now we're going to analyze a real life example, which is the divorce of Nicole Kidman and Keith Urban. Because this was a perfect situation to illustrate that you should not mother a man, that you should not try to save a man. A man is not a project for you to kind of craft around. A man should be a finished product. So Nicole Kidman allegedly agreed to give Keith Urban at the beginning of their marriage hundreds of thousands of dollars in the condition that he stays sober. Yes, you heard it correctly. I don't know who allowed her to do that. Like, who are her lawyers? They are bad lawyers. Ladies, you should never pay men for anything. There's never an occasion where I would say just give men money. No. You know what? Even my partner for his birthday, he wants me to buy his gift with his money. Like, that's just normal to me. Like, provider energy 101. And at the same time, we can analyze in our own behavior, in our own life, where we have a tendency to mother our man. What are the signs that you are mothering your man, that you're controlling, that you're a bit too much treating him like a toddler, when you should actually be his divine feminine queen that is supporting him, but not mothering. There's a difference with nurturing and mothering. A lot of people confuse the two, and it does kill attraction and polarity when you mother a man. So let's watch this video that kind of resumed the situation between Nicole Kidman and Keith Urban.
This divorce is about to get real messy real fast. Keith is putting out all of the we just drifted apart and she didn't provide me with the emotional stability that I need as a late 50s man in a man life crisis with the mental age of a toddler. Apparently not enough emotional support. It turns out there's this whole clause, right? This clause that for every year he stayed sober, he'd get between 600k and 900k per year of marriage. She needed to make this a contract to keep him sober. So basically 19 years of her having to work like a dog to keep this man on track, and he's basically just crapped all over it. Because apparently he's moved on already. It seems that he has a new guitarist. She's been around for the last year, since 2024. She's 25. He took one of his songs, Fighter, that was made for Nicole. And he normally says baby in it, for Nicole. And he changed that to Maggie.
Ladies, yes, this is a crazy situation. Honestly, I wasn't expecting Nicole Kidman to be in that type of situation. She is literally one of the biggest actresses in the whole world, and she's a beautiful bombshell, sex symbol. Like, every man would want to be with her. I think she got married with Tom Cruise before, and then she got married with Keith Urban. She could have married literally anyone. Like, she was really this beautiful bombshell, and honestly I love her in Moulin Rouge. She has the best feminine energy, savage femme fatale energy in this movie, and this movie is so glamorous, so beautiful. She is stunning in that movie, in all her movies. I mean, she's one of my favorite actresses also. But when I learned that in reality her relationship is like this, it just proves that celebrities don't know what they're doing.
Ladies, this is your millionth sign to never build up a man. A man that had to be built up and dragged into adulthood and forced to be made into a contributing member of society will always resent you for it and will find a way to exact his revenge upon you.
And barely 4 months into our marriage, my addictions that I'd done really nothing about blew our marriage to smithereens, and I went into the Betty Ford Center for 3 months. 4 months into a marriage, I'm in rehab for 3 months with no idea what was going to happen to us.
So it's kind of like a woman paying for stability, a woman paying for a man to stay sober. And the problem is, it's not just Hollywood. It can happen to any one of us, that we want to try to save a man. Maybe he has addiction, maybe he has addiction with alcohol, maybe he is unhealthy in certain part of his life, maybe he's not ambitious, and you want him to be more ambitious, you want him to make more money so that you can have a beautiful life together, but you don't feel like he is really into it, he's not really making much effort, or he's not succeeding much in whatever he's trying, and he's counting on you to make up for the lack that he has. It is what a lot of women do every single day. Women invest carry them, and call it love, and sacrifice themselves. And sometimes love becomes labor, and sometimes devotion turns into mothering. And this is what we want to avoid, ladies. This is really the worst dynamic you can be in. And then, as you can see here with this example, he's going to see another woman that is probably younger, that is going to admire him and his success, and that she doesn't have to mother. Okay, let's unpack this. Let's talk about also the signs that you're mothering your men. So if you want to know more, keep on watching. But first, just wanted to let you know that if you want to see more of my content, I talk about fashion, femininity, old Hollywood glamour, seduction, dating, and anything to make you become a highly feminine lady and to upgrade your confidence and to transform you into the most irresistible feminine version of yourself. Feel free to join the channel, the link is down below, and also follow me on my Instagram and on TikTok. And ladies, do you want to become the ultimate femme fatale? I mean, I'm in black today with red lipstick, so it's the perfect outfit. And at the moment, everything is on sale. All of my courses and my books are on sale, 30% off for the Black Friday. Take advantage of that offer because it's going to be limited. If you want to become this fabulous feminine queen that is on her throne and that would never mother a man because she doesn't have to, because she attracts only competent masculine men, and she inspires a man to be more masculine, she inspires a man to step up. So if you want to do your full transformation, the links are down below. And I have a body language masterclass and a dating ebook. All of that together is making you a full weapon. Then your feminine energy is on another level. Let's talk about the savior trap. When you want to save a man, oh, he has an addiction, maybe I can help him. But so many women fall into that and going to the extreme of mothering without realizing it. We become the caretaker, the therapist. We make his well-being our responsibility. We make the well-being of everyone, of the husband, the kids, like everyone around us, our responsibility, which is not. Like, we sacrifice ourselves for everything. We sacrifice ourselves in a relationship. And it's like we convince ourselves, oh, he just needs a little help. He's just been through a lot. That I see that excuses also with women who want to save men that are emotionally not available. They have a Mr. Big in front of them, you know, Mr. Big from Sex and the City, that is completely emotionally unavailable, that doesn't treat them right at all, that doesn't care about them, and they want to save him. They want to save him. They want to show him. I want to show him what it's like to be with a good woman. I want to show him what love is like. And it's like, no, honey, he needs to figure that out on his own. He needs to grow up on his own, okay? You're not there to educate him. And also, what can start with compassion becomes control. So when you start to mother your partner, you begin to manage him like a project. You fix his problem, even his mistakes. You try to cover his chaos. You're not his lover anymore. You're his manager. You're his full-on life manager. That is for free on top of it. You see Nicole Kidman just completely, even giving a lot of money, she has to pay him for him to stay sober. Please, ladies, never do that. Okay, my man would not even allow me to give him money, even if it's just like pennies. Okay, find yourself a man that doesn't even allow you because he's so masculine. He's like, no, I got it, baby. I'm a man, okay? I can handle it. I can take care of myself. I'm not like a little baby that you have to manage. Because if you have to manage him like a baby, what is going to happen if eventually you have kids? I think this is exactly the situation of a lot of women, for example. They are with a man that sometimes is completely immature, and they have to mother him, and they have to take care of him, and they have to show him how to be an adult, basically. And then they have a kid with that man. So they find excuses for him, but then they have a kid. And then they realize, oh my God, I have an actual child here that I need to take care of, but he is another child. And he should be helping me instead. But instead, I need to take care of him as well. So that's when you have a lot of couples separating, because the woman realized, oh my God, he's another burden in my life. He's not a help. He's not the help and the support and the provider and the protector that I was looking for. So sometimes you have those situations of men being literal children, and in that case you have to let them grow up on their own, or you have situations where you are too much in your masculine energy and you cannot handle the fact that a man would make any mistakes, and you have to, manage everything that he's doing. He's forgetting his appointment at the doctor. You have to remind him. You have to remind him what he needs to take for the airport. He's going on a business trip and say, oh, you forgot this. You need to do this. You need to do that. Like, why don't you do this correctly? But in that case, you need to let him do his own mistakes. And in the case of Nicole, her clause was just giving him money. But for you, that might not be with money that you try to manage and control this man. That might be in emotions. That might be that you pay in energy, in anxiety, in self-sacrifices. You are mothering men who should be fathering themselves. The mother role, the fastest way to kill attraction, ladies. So sometimes it happens quietly. When I see those women that are like calling their men, oh, baby, baby, and like almost treating him like a toddler too much, or caring too much about every single of his needs, it can turn him off, honestly. Because in that case, you're not treating him like the hero and the strong man that he wants to be. You are seeing him as incapable, which is the biggest insult for men. At the beginning, maybe it started quietly. Maybe you start cooking for him. You are encouraging, comforting, supporting, which is fine. That is in the feminine realm. But soon it escalates and it becomes like babysitting, reminding him of his responsibilities, guiding his choices, keeping him from self-destructing. You tell yourself, but I'm just being supportive. But what you really do is parenting him. When you become a man's mother, he doesn't see you as his woman anymore. You cannot mother a man and expect him to desire you at the same time. When you tell a man constantly, you have to change this, you have to change your diet, you have to stop smoking, you have to stop doing this, you have to stop doing that. It's like fully, you're not accepting him for who he is, first of all. You should instead let him deal with the consequences. If you don't want a man that is like this, if you want a man that is responsible, that is ambitious, that have a healthy lifestyle, why are you then with him? You are trying to make him and mold him into the person you want him to be. He should become that person on his own. You have requirements and you can say, no, for me, I don't want a man that drinks. I want a man that is ambitious and that wants to make a lot of money and that has a healthy lifestyle. You can say that, and maybe sometimes that make them step up. That's the little push that they need to step up. Sometimes that happens, I see it. Sometimes they're just on this lazy mode and they need strong consequences. They need drama sometimes to change. Sometimes they need the woman to leave to be able to grow, like a kid. When you teach a kid that it's not a good thing to do that, it needs to have consequences. If you just let him do whatever he wants, he will do it again. And masculine energy is drawn to polarity, to the mystery, the softness, the magnetism of a feminine woman. But when you step into the role of the manager, the problem solver, or the savior, you shift into your masculine energy. You start directing, structuring, and no matter how much he says he needs you, what he actually feels is dependence and not attraction. A man should not say that he needs you for basic things. Think about it. He's a grown man. And then he wants to be respected and seen as a strong, capable man, but he needs to show that he is strong and capable. On TikTok, for example, I saw that one time, and this little boy fell on the floor, and at some point he was crying and blah blah blah, and he didn't want to walk, and his father said, no, get up, you're a big boy, say you're a big boy, you can do it. Like, I think the presence of a father is very important, for especially for little boys and for little girls as well. But you see, like, they bring the push, shows the little boy, hey, you can do it, go for it. And most of the time mothers are gonna be like, oh no, my poor baby, my poor baby. But in that case, he's not gonna learn to step up and to become a strong man. He's going to always try to be like this kind of victim mentality. And this is maybe why we have a lot more feminine men nowadays. A lot of you complain about it. It's because everything is too easy for them. Everything is too easy. That's why I said to you, like, make it a little bit harder for them. They love it and they need it. When you mother a man, you make it too easy for him. Everything is too easy. You take care of everything. So he steps into his feminine energy. He becomes more feminine. So why do we do this? Why do brilliant, capable women end up mothering grown men? It is guilt. It is inside of us. It is this quiet, heavy voice that is telling us that we're responsible for everyone's happiness as women, that if we don't help, we're cold, that if we let go, we're cruel, that if he falls apart, it is our fault. We've been conditioned to confuse nurturing with rescuing. We think that if we're a good woman, it means holding everyone together, even if we are the one falling apart. But ladies, you can give everything to keep a man alive, sober, and stable, and still not be loved the way you want to be loved and the way you deserve. Because in that case, this is a parenthood dynamic. Think about it as like the cheerleader. You need to be the cheerleader in his life. He is the football player. He's on the football field. He's playing, and you are the cheerleader, cheering him on, supporting him. And even if he makes mistakes, even if the football player is making a mistake, the cheerleader is still here cheering him on and supporting him and believing in him. Okay, and even if he didn't win, maybe next time he will. Think about it as like the cheerleader. The cheerleader is not on the football field saying, give me the ball, I will do it for you. She is in the background, she's dancing, she's feminine, she's in her cute little outfit, being cute, being beautiful, and cheering him on, supporting him. This is the reward that he gets. Of course, that doesn't mean that I say to you that you need to be with a man that is completely not ambitious, that is completely a bum, and you have to kind of support him and wait for him and pray for him to one day, you know, step up. No, you don't give him 50,000 chances, okay? I would suggest to you, actually, the opposite. I would suggest to choose a man who is already there where you want him to be. You know, true feminine energy doesn't fix, it inspires. It doesn't force, it attracts. When you are in your feminine energy, you trust him to meet you at your level, not that you need to drag him there. Your job is to stay radiant, peaceful, grounded, so that the right man, the healthy man, can step up. A healthy masculine man doesn't need you to parent him. He wants to protect you, not be protected by you. You are inversing the whole balance. You are in your masculine, he's in his feminine. You know, it's the opposite. He wants to lead besides you, not beneath you. So what it looks like in everyday life, you might remind him of every appointment, that he needs to go to the doctor, that he needs to do this, that he needs to not eat that. Don't eat that, that's not healthy for you. You clean up his messes, you excuse his bad behavior because he's had such a hard life. That's emotional motherhood, and it drains the feminine spirit. Every time you take responsibility for his life, you abandon your own. So the moment you stop mothering a man, you give him back the gift of responsibility. You stop interrupting his lessons. Why are you interrupting his lessons? He needs to learn from his mistakes. Let him do all the mistakes that he needs to do. You're no longer proving your worth or self-sacrificing. So ask yourself, where am I mothering a man instead of inspiring him? Where am I the emotional parent instead of the partner, instead of the muse? He wants to be better for you. Not because he has to, because you ordered him to, but because you inspire him. A high-value woman doesn't rescue a man from his own mess. Thank you for watching, my beautiful darlings. I hope you liked it and I hope it was really helpful for you. Let me know in the comments down below what you think of this story with Nicole Kidman and Keith Urban. Let me know also if you have some stories of you mothering a man. It is a safe space, ladies. We're all growing together and we're all learning from our mistakes. So let me know your stories in the comments down below. And also, if you want to get all of my courses and my books to really be on the next level in your femininity journey, they are all at 30% off again, and every link is down below. And as usual, I'm going to take my tea and give you a lot of beautiful kisses, my darlings, because I love you all. And don't forget that you're really, really fabulous. I remind you that in every video, but that's true. Mwah.